why you will never be a successful real estate investor. Now, what's up, y'all? So, in this particular video, I'm actually going to be touching on something that's a very hot topic right now in the real estate community. I'm not going to really say no names or throw anybody under the bus, but what I will say is, if you want to know what I'm necessarily referring to, you can either look at the YouTube tags, or you can go head over to Tony the Closer's page, where he has a whole bunch of lives breaking down what's necessarily going on in the real estate community. So to keep it short and simple, there's a real estate guru. A lot of these gurus kind of came up during the COVID-19 era, creating mentorships, trying to attract people who have funds to invest in the things like real estate, stocks, or whatever. This particular guru, I guess, was kind of teaching people and gaining mentees and having them put up their money with no paperwork attached, and essentially doing the investment and the investing for them. Now, if you go over to Tony the Closer's page, it's actually a whole debacle. Allegedly, this person owes millions of dollars to a lot of his mentees. And the last time I checked the person's page, he started to pay people back. But the gist of this video is actually to just let you guys know as to why a lot of you guys are never going to be a successful real estate investor. Now, what do I mean by that? So, first things first, right? So, when it comes to doing, and now, before I even go into that, I am a licensed real estate agent. I've been a licensed real estate agent for the past 4 years. So I have some pretty good experience in the game. Now, first things first, a lot of you guys are just walking licks. I know a lot of people, you may be in a messed up situation, or you may end up coming up on $100,000, $200,000 cash. That's cool. When it comes to real estate, you're not necessarily supposed to just go to somebody without doing no paperwork and telling them, okay, I have this much, can you do this for me? No matter what you're doing in life, if you don't actually put in the work and actually learn every detail of what you're trying to invest in, 9 times out of 10, you're going to take huge losses up front when it comes to those investments. When it comes to specifically real estate, if you go to any real estate investor and you say, hey, I got $100,000, can you invest this for me? A lot of them are going to say yes, especially with no paperwork. Bro, you guys are walking licks. Some of this stuff, it sells itself, and it's self-explanatory. When it comes to doing any type of deal during real estate, I don't care if you're doing it with your mama. Everything needs to be on some type of contract, and everything needs to be on, and every deal needs to be facilitated through a title company. And it's very pertinent in this particular situation, because in this particular situation, a lot of the properties that the mentor allegedly bought or sold to these mentees, a lot of these properties have lien issues. Title company take care of all that information. But a lot of you guys would know that if you guys actually took the time out to study real estate investing, getting into the real estate game, and how to make sure you don't get screwed over within your certain deals. Here's what I'll also say. Honestly, when it comes to real estate investing, if you don't already have a certain amount of cash flow coming in every month, you giving your money to somebody else to do something for you that you barely even know about, it's one of the dumbest things that you can ever do. If you don't know what to do with the money, don't spend it. Don't do nothing with it. Hold it until you know what to do. Specifically when it comes to real estate, it's a lot cheaper for a lot of you guys to go get your real estate license, or go hire a real estate agent to kind of guide you on the proper process of real estate investing. That way you know what you're doing before you get into it. A lot of you guys tend to go to pay these mentors tens of thousands of dollars just to sit around and look cute all day. And here's the honest truth, guys, too. When it comes to real estate investment, a lot of people are not profitable, especially when it comes to single family homes. The average person, if you already have a residential house and you end up trying to get another single family house and you're investing into that property, a lot of you guys, if you guys are getting another mortgage on top of the mortgage you already have, a lot of you guys are not even going to be profitable. Plus, a lot of you guys don't necessarily calculate the cost. This is why I think if anybody's trying to become a real estate investor, I think it's very good that you either hire a real estate agent to be on your team or become an agent yourself like I did to learn everything about the business. I tend to work with investors every single day. So I know how much repairs are going to cost on a particular house. I know how to negotiate certain deals. I know how to work certain deals. I know how to work with wholesalers. I wouldn't have this knowledge if I did not become a real estate agent. Not necessarily saying that everybody needs to become an agent, but everybody needs some type of expertise when it comes to getting into this type of business. And oftentimes on your first home, a lot of you guys are going to lose money, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So it's best to just go ahead and learn that information. The cheapest way to do it is to become an agent, or if you think wholesaling is your way, do that. With me becoming an agent, I've worked with several investors on several different deals, and I know how to work several different deals. I know the ins and out of actually taking a property, buying it, whipping it, how much repairs are going to cost for certain things. Matter of fact, I'll actually show you something. Well, no, I'm not going to show you guys, but perfect example. In this particular house right now, we're getting doors replaced. If an investor was to come into this property and buy this property or whatever,
stop training people in person,
and they just only had $100,000 to buy the property. Let's say this property is worth $100,000. It's not, but let's say if they only had that $100,000 and that was their last, for one, that was the dumbest purchase you ever made in your life. When it comes to real estate, you should not be putting your last towards real estate. Real estate is very expensive and it comes with a bill. Just because you buy a property for a certain amount does not necessarily mean that that's the only payment you're going to make. Even if you buy a property outright cash, you still have to consider, okay, I need some money for when the roof gives out. I need some money for when the water heater gives out. I need some money for just general repairs. Even if you have tenants, you have to have reserves to take care of repairs that happen to certain tenants. A lot of you guys don't know this information because a lot of you guys want to find a shortcut to getting rich or getting to real estate investment, and it's not like that. And oftentimes, most people, remember I said this, most people lose money on their first couple of deals in real estate, especially the people who do not know what they're doing. So my thing is make sure you're working with the professional, but also when it comes to actually doing real estate deals, you should not be doing no deal with nobody without no contract involved or an expert involved. And for one, a lot of you guys just need to stop giving money to people just because they portray themselves as an expert on Instagram. That's one of the biggest things since the COVID era. Everybody's all of a sudden on Instagram is an expert now. The thing about a lot of these people is a lot of these people are just as broke as you, or even broker. The thing about social media is that everybody's rich online. Everybody's life is perfect online. Everybody has $1 million. Everybody can show you how to make $1 million. Everybody can show you how to take $30 and turn it into $1 million. Because it's not real. It's not real life. So I say that to say is like, when it comes to actually getting into the real estate business, make sure all your ducks in a row. Either you become a professional yourself or hire a professional yourself. Make sure you want to manage all of your properties, but you also want to learn the business like the back of your hand. You don't want to just put your faith into somebody that you met through Instagram or you met because, okay, it looked like they doing good or whatever. Because I'm not going to lie, when it comes to that certain situation, it was way too many red flags that I've seen just as a real estate professional. It's like, bro, I wouldn't give that man no money no way. I don't care if he was doing $1 million deals or not. Like, just certain things are just not happening. But it's always a learning experience. And if you actually talk to real estate investors, if a lot of real estate investors showed you their profits from their investments, it's not a lot. A lot of you guys are thinking that, you guys can buy a house for $100,000 and then sell it next year for $250,000. Every deal that you do is different. Always remember that. No matter what property, no matter what guru tries to tell you or try to make it sound sweet, every single deal that you do in real estate is different. Every house that you deal with, every property, every land, every deal is different. You have to work every deal differently. The only way you're going to know how to properly work deals differently is to gain experience and actually do the work yourself. And that's pretty much how I learned. But what I will say is, guys, you guys got to stop being walking licks. Stop giving your money to people who you don't even know like that. Or stop giving your money with people with no paperwork. And also understand this too. When it comes to any type of investing as well too, and this is not financial advice or anything, this is just life advice and entertainment. When it comes to putting money up for any investment, every investment is a potential. It can be a potential loss. So, yeah, you might put up $250,000 for a specific property. Well, that specific property might not be worth $400,000 after you fix it up. That's a loss. It comes with the game of investing. You won't know until you try and actually do it for yourself. That's the thing that a lot of people don't tell you about investing online. It's like, just because you put up this certain amount of money, and just because a guru makes it sound good that you okay, and this particular thing and this particular deal work for them, does not necessarily mean the same thing is going to happen to you. That's why you need to learn the business for yourself and actually learn from your mistakes. If you don't get your feet wet in the game, the game is going to show you how they get down. But like, subscribe, share. I hope this video was very informational. Stop getting scammed by fake online gurus. If anything, get in the field yourself like I did. I'm 4 years in the game. I'm still learning. But peace. Actually, this video is not over yet. A couple other things I forgot to tell you guys. When it comes again to real estate investing, if you don't have a team, your process is going to be a lot harder than what it needs to be, right? Number one, you need to develop a team. If you don't have a team, your life in real estate is going to be hell. Also, remember this, and this is, promise you guys, it's the last thing. Real estate investing is a skill set. It's a high level skill set, right? So just like web development or just like selling life insurance, the skill set of selling, or just the skill set of rehabbing, those are all high level skill sets, right? So you actually have to master the skill set to perfect it to the point to where you know what you're doing like the back of your hand. If you're not necessarily doing that, and you're just getting your feet wet in the game, you might not make profit on your first property. I know some first-time investors right now who are not in profit right now. And it's just realistic. It's real life. But yeah, I'm out, guys.